Hello everyone, and welcome to our crazy presentation, which is put together by Michelle Ball, Danny Foskett, Leisha Hansen, Michelle Kulik, and Angelina Day. We decided to do our presentation on Ted Jackson. I chose to present on Ted Jackson. Ted Jackson is a 42-year-old Caucasian male, originally from Akron, Ohio. He played most sports growing up and was recruited to play football at the University of Toledo, but dropped out his first year to enlist in the Army. By the age of 22, he had undergone a military evaluation and was formally diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Jackson was discharged from the Army, lived in shame in his car for a year before he became so delusional that he was hospitalized. This was the first of 3 hospitalizations for him. Ted moved to Miami after a 13-year courtship to escape the Midwest winters. He left his elderly mother, girlfriend, and her children back in Ohio, and his father was deceased. When he moved, he had no job, no family, or friends in Miami. His only source of income was $1,000 per month from a trust fund. He lived in a studio apartment that used to be an old motel. His prized possessions was an orange bike with a banana seat and blue streamers dangling from the handlebars. It was a one-of-a-kind. He spent his days writing graffiti of Jesus 2007 or handing out Puppet Master flyers on the street corner. He had been arrested a few times for these offenses. He liked fishing and laying on the beach sunbathing. Then Ted developed a new hobby of going to nightclubs that allowed him entrance once a week. Ted sees a VA psychiatrist once a month and is prescribed Seroquel 600 mg, clonazepam 800 mg, and lithium. Despite his mental health treatment, Ted's life became complicated often. He would befriend strangers and be taken advantage of by all of them. He acquired large amounts of debt due to persuasion of his new friends or from court fees. Ted was hyper-religious and paranoid. His paranoia of the Miami PD was so significant that sometimes he would not leave his apartment. The last time Pete spoke with Ted, he had a plan to earn money and pay off his debts. After reading Revelations in the Bible, he found 54 new verses that he believed proved Jesus would return in 2007. He wanted to print new flyers and hand them out as soon as he was done visiting his mother in Ohio. Peter challenged Ted about whether or not God really talked to him. Ted replied, "What else do I have if I don't have that in my life?" Our nursing diagnosis for Ted is disturbed thought process related to medical diagnosis of bipolar disorder as evidenced by distorted thought control, disrupted personal safety behavior, inaccurate interpretations of the environment, and diminished judgment and orientation of reality. Our nursing care plan that we came up with included goals of reducing disorientation and improve judgment, reduce incarceration, improve adherence to medication regimen, improve decision-making, demonstrate controlled thought processes. Interventions included define and explain acceptable behaviors, include adherence to medical regimen, monitor therapeutic drug levels such as his lithium, engage in reality-orienting activities, provide reality-based explanations for disoriented thinking, mobilize community resources, provide support, protect from giving away money and possessions. Our nursing outcomes: the patient would demonstrate decreased delusions, talk with others about present reality, recognize illegal behaviors such as graffiti, and control acting on these behaviors, adhere to medication regimen, engage with case manager and community resources, demonstrate improved judgment in social situations. Plans for recovery for Ted: plan to aid in judgment and decisions. Court-appointed trustee who will help delegate monthly funds in small increments with budget planning and spending help. The trustee can be either a family member or a court-appointed money management individual. The plan to reduce incarceration and improve decision-making: refer the patient to mental health center with counseling and group discussions. Discharge and/or release planners will be available in jail and help situation newly released individuals into the community. Help provide information for community support groups and set up counseling services. Life skill classes are available to also aid in improved decision making. Promote adherence to medication regimen. Home health specialists and counselors can aid in medication adherence by scheduling regular visits to ensure adherence. providing education about each medication. For example, the purpose of the medication, current dosage, frequency it needs to be taken, any side effects that can be expected or to look for, and potential adverse effects that require follow-up with a provider, and helping with medication organization. Demonstrate controlled thought process. Cognitive behavior therapy along with medication adherence can aid in an individual's ability to control thought processes. Community resources include sound mental health services, which provide counseling, motivational enhancement and life skills, care coordination, employment support, health, wellness, and stress management groups, psychologists for evaluation and development of treatment plans. Valley Cities provides individual, family, and group counseling, case management, community support, medication management services, and group classes discussing life skills, employment groups, outpatient groups. In guiding the future nursing practice, focus on community case management, nursing, education, and monitoring. Prevent victimization and manipulation of mentally ill. Avoid getting in trouble with the law due to unusual or criminal behaviors. Connect patients and family with community resources, support groups, NAMI, community mental health centers, employment programs, safe housing. Patient and family education on recognizing early signs of relapse, change in sleep patterns, behavior or mood changes, lack of insight. Monitor medication compliance, potentially harmful side effects, and effectiveness of current regimen. Nurse advocacy in all treatment settings. Erase stigma of mental illness in your own practice. Be a model for other nurses of treating those suffering from mental illness with dignity and respect. Advocate to get patients in the treatment that they need, even if they may not be considered an imminent danger to themselves or others. Be involved in mental health policy changes that provide access to treatment for those with chronic mental illness like bipolar disorder. Refer patients to community mental health centers. Long-term treatment and support prevents rehospitalization and/or incarceration. Current state of mental health in the U.S. Currently in the U.S., there is a stigma deeming mental illness in a negative light, leading to the delusion that those with mental illness are crazy or weird or many times seen as dangerous individuals. Because of the negativity in regards to this, many people do not seek help or are not properly medicated due to the fear of being seen as different or crazy or unstable. Many do not feel comfortable talking to those around them about depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, diagnosed mental health conditions, and will then isolate themselves, worsening their conditions. Many people are not aware of resources available for help, much of which is due to lack of education and social awareness of mental illness. Ideas to change the current state of mental health in the U.S. Start education early, developing effective school mental health programs. These programs should aim to promote healthy social and emotional development of children and youth, assist educators to recognize when youth are at risk for or are experiencing mental health issues, identify how to intervene early and appropriately when there is a problem, access the school-based mental health support, public education and awareness to counteract stereotypes, public education of available resources such as SAM, HSA, and referral helpline, as well as their website, which has great local resources and national resources. Mandatory CIT training for all police departments and jails to help stop violent behavior and suicide attempts by mentally ill individuals and reduce unnecessary deaths and brutality. And then legislation to give mental health treatment the same priority given to those with physical health issues. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. Here's a list of our references, and we hope you enjoyed it and learned a little something. And have a great day. Thank you.